Hello everyone, I'm your host Thomas28 and welcome back to Cryogenic Simulation. So, as we left off last episode, we're going to be venturing into the combat simulation and gathering some materials that we were unable to get before. Now, firstly though, we're going to upgrade our steel armor probably to diamond, at least until we get the glitch infused set, which I think it's a little bit better. I guess the utility is what makes it a lot better than the diamond set, while the diamond is much stronger. Well, not by much. A little bit stronger than steel. And the only reason I didn't make it before is because we didn't have a lot of diamonds, but now we do. So let's go ahead and craft this diamond chestplate and diamond hat. There we go. And then I should have some beets in here. Do I have any heartbeats though, now that I think about it? Because I want to get some regen. Before we head in there, let me see. Heartbeat. Yep, there we go. And I'll just store that in this chest down here. This is like the never gonna look at it again chest. And let's go fight some mobs. Now, essentially what we're looking for is like ender pearls so I can craft some stuff. Witches kind of drop some useful stuff, but not really. See, I probably need torches and which is my steel pickaxe. I think it's the other one. This one right here. Get that for the regen, and let's go in. Now, I'm going to need quite a lot of ender pearls to actually craft the next set of items, because we need enderium. And I forgot we're right next to that one. So we're going to have to get some space and see if we can fight these guys. Now, luckily it is raining, so all of the endermen aren't going to be an issue. But all of these are going to be annoying. Are those chests over there? I can't really tell. Now, this entire dimension is on the bottom. Let's see, can I disable these? Kinda. Let's see, I'm in diamond armor and I have regen 4, so really, I shouldn't die unless I get one shot. Alright, so quite a lot of drops. We do have luck 3 on our sword, and looks like my torches aren't working, so I'm gonna have to destroy these spawners just so we have a little safe area next to the portal. And more spawners should spawn in another area, so it's really not that big of a waste. Wait, was one of these a enderman spawner? I might have want to kept that one. The rest of the mobs spawn regardless in the initial dimension. It's just the enderman we don't get. Oh, and this is Ender IO reinforced obsidian. I think we can use this. It breaks extremely slow though. Now I wonder what this structure is. I know this is chiseled glowstone. X-tones anti-block. Okay, so I don't think this is anything useful. X-corp. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. You can just chisel it to look like other stuff. But the reinforced obsidian, I believe, does have a use. So that makes a pretty easy source to get that. And, it's witherproof. Interesting. Okay, that's actually pretty useful. Because one of the key things we have to do in the combat simulation is get access to wither skeletons. And then use that to summon the wither and get a nether star. Now, I guess we're going to have to get some kind of building blocks, because with all of the endermen teleporting around everywhere, I can't actually harvest any ender pearls. And there we go, our first customer. So I built a little awning, and there he goes. Okay, I'm going to have to slay them a lot faster. So I built a little awning, so they should teleport under here and then not teleport out, unless they're dumb enough to walk into the rain again. But that should let us get a couple ender pearls. Now, let's see, this is luck 3, which is the maximum, which is essentially like looting 3. So when we kill a single enderman, we should get like 3 to 4 pearls. Yep, there we go. 3 ender pearls. Just gotta wait for the other one to come back. Because I'm not sure how much we're gonna need, but you do need enderman heads for Ender IO, as they specifically need that type of head. Ooh, there's another one. 0 ender pearls. Interesting. So, like I was saying, then we can use the ender pearls to make fluix pearls, which are going to be needed in crafting the wireless receiver, so we can make the wireless terminal, and that's going to be needed to craft a required item. So I'm going to have to probably be here a little while, because we're going to need quite a few ender pearls. Luckily, once we have the first maybe like 10 or so, we should be able to duplicate endermen pretty easily. Alright, I got 6 ender pearls. I think that's enough to progress. I could be wrong, but I'm making a guess here. It's around 6, I think. Because I should only need 1 to make the crafting terminal. And then you need 2 to make the mob, not detector, where is it? You need actually 0 for the mob duplicator, but you need pristine enderman matter. Anyways, so we should be able to go ahead and make ourselves what I need is a deep learner, which will take all of this, and we're missing the wireless terminal and an unassembled PCB. So wireless terminal, let's see if we can craft this. Interpearl and flux capacitor. And for some reason, I guess AE2 doesn't like the flux capacitor. It wants like a fully charged one, even though the crafting recipe just takes a regular one, so I'm gonna have to craft that manually. But as you can see, we need 1 enderpearl to make the wireless receiver. So that's really the only thing that was holding us back from getting into deep learning. Okay, anyways, wireless terminal goes in here, and we need 1 advanced PCB. I should be able to make these, right? No, we need the unassembled PCB. And unassembled PCB, I do have an empty PCB, but to make this, we gotta put it into a light box. And I forgot, you have to put these in a light box if you want them to actually, you know, turn into PCBs. So I should be able to just throw that in there, take out the tablet. I want this guy, place my order. Oh, he also sells the program, so I'm gonna have to buy these because we're gonna need the... I'm actually not sure of the difference, but we're gonna need them to actually do the final crafting. And there we go, 1 PCB blueprint. So now we can actually make the UV light box and then turn the empty PCB into the etch success chance 100%. Okay, now we should be able to just put the light box on here. And where's my wrench? I'm gonna have to rotate this. There we go. So now it's gonna get the pressure. Then we put the PCBs inside, 1 at a time. And can I put speed upgrades in this? You can. Faster and brighter, because I want to do a whole stack of these because we're gonna need a lot and it's gonna take a while. It takes 5 minutes, so might as well do a whole stack. And there we go. Very simple UV lightbox automation. Pop them into a hopper, pop those into the lightbox, pull out the finished result. And with 10 speed upgrades, it goes at a pretty fast speed, which is pretty nice. Now, I try to do it with just 2 hoppers, but the bottom hopper just pulls it out even when it's not fully completed, so I have to use something with a filter. Luckily, you can filter by the 100% instead of having, you know, the unfinished ones, which is pretty good. So once we have a full stack turned into, empty PCB, into unassembled PCBs, we can combine those with transistors and capacitors to make the PCB, and then use that to make our drills, which we're going to need to craft the, what were we doing again? There was a purpose to this, wasn't there? Assembly controller. Oh, right. This was just to make it faster, because otherwise we have to wait 5 minutes every single time. Plus this extra step, which is not that great. What is this? Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's see if this works. I don't quite remember how to use this guy, though. Pressure's good, no problems. Status has the thing. I think you're supposed to... No. There was a way to, like, link the... Like, this is the import, this is the output. Or is it... Did I get it backwards? Okay, I did get it backwards. It's the blue one. So the blue one takes the PCB, puts it on the platform, the laser does its lasering, then it's going to pull it off, and now we can make the fully built PCBs without having to go through all the steps of doing the etching and the other stuff. Now the quest book didn't say that we needed these for anything like further PCB, like it's needed for this. Is there anything in here? Flux compressor, programmable controller, pneumaticraft, industrial assembler. Oh, okay, technically we need these for the advanced PCBs. Alright, so I'll set up the passive automation for that later. So now I need to take this and combine it to make the printed circuit board. And then we can use that to make the advanced PCBs in the industrial assembler. Now I'm pretty sure I set up the automation for that though, right? PCB, advanced PCB. I did, perfect. And there we go, 2 advanced PCBs, and we can craft the deep learner. And now we can use the deep learner to do deep learning. Now, if I remember, we do have to craft these though, and we need pristine Enderman essence. So we're going to need a blank data model, which we should be able to craft, assuming I remember to set that up. I did, nice. Well, funny enough, I was about to craft this into the Enderman one, and I was like, huh, what happened to all of my ender pearls? They disappeared from the network. Where'd they go? And then I remembered. I have this fluid transposer, not this one, set to melt all of my ender pearls as soon as they enter the system because I wanted to be able to automatically turn our star metal into enderium. So now I need more ender pearls. Okay, so now that we got a bit more ender pearls, let's go ahead and craft this into Enderman data model. Take the data model and put it into the simulation chamber. Simulation chamber, I should also be able to auto-craft, assuming we have everything. Yep, blank slate, that's why I made those in advance. PCB, 2 ender pearls. Okay, that's going to be annoying. What do I need the ender pearls for? Oh, for the signalum conversion kits. No, not the signalum. What do I need this for? What recipe needs the ender pearls? Because if I put them directly into the AE network, they're going to get eaten. Oh, it's this part. Okay, let me craft everything else, and then I'll add those last. Now I just got to re-add in the signalum, and there we go, 1 simulation chamber. But now to use this, I do have to put this guy into there, and then fight the Enderman. So we have to fight 6 just to get basic, but then we can just make him pretty much for free. And then once we have that, we could turn those into ender pearls, have those feed into the AE system, and then I don't have to worry about it. And finally, basic tier. Enderman data model done. Now I can get out of here, because all I needed was the Enderman. So now we also need the, whatchamacallit, at deep learning. What is it called? The loot fabricator. I'm out of blaze powder? How am I out of blaze powder? Oh, no, I'm not burning that. What, am I? Am I burning that for fuel right now? I guess I am. Now let's see. There should be another monument that I didn't tear down past this one, because I need to get blaze powder, and I thought, well, since I'm gonna go get the blaze powder anyway, I might as well get the blaze data model. And if I'm already getting the blaze data model, I might as well also get the elemental data model. And if I'm already doing the elemental data model, I should probably also do the shulker data model, because I believe they're all gonna be needed in progression later on, and I might as well get them all out of the way at the same time. Okay, perfect. I didn't break the spawners. So we just gotta harvest these guys and finish these off. I wonder, I've never actually done the thermal elementals, so does it work on just any? I guess it does. The blaze one has to be blazes, but basalts, blitzes, and the other one, forget the name, all work on the same thing. Oh, and there's another one over there. Nice. Okay, basic tier on that one. I need a couple more blazes, and then 3 more shulkers. Alright, that's the blazes all completed. Now I just need 2 more shulkers, which should be outside from what I remember. Yep, here's one. And 1 more. They're also a pretty good source of diamonds from the data thingy. Let's see, I just need this last one. Okay, there's one. And there we go. Now I'm gonna get out of here. This place sucks. I wanna leave. Of course, now the problem is, we have our simulation chambers, we have our loot fabricators. They take quite a lot of power. An immense amount of power. So I'm going to want to have them pretty close to our thermoelectric generator. And I'm wondering if we get access to another type of energy generation. I'm not actually sure. Because when you think about it, right? This guy is taking my pyrethrum and turning it into blazing, feeding it into here, and producing a metric ton of energy. But then all of these simulation chambers also take a metric ton of energy. So it's kind of hard to figure out how much energy we're actually using. Anyways, though, so we could just come out over here, and I'm all out of marble, which is why I'm using cobblestone, and put down our simulation chambers, put in our blaze data model, thermal elemental, shulker, and enderman. Then I guess I'll put them on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Yes. Loot fabricators. And you really don't need this many, but I'm going to try to automate some of these, so that's why I have extra. Add our energy conduits. And power these guys. And then I should have, there we go, smart cables, because I need to connect these to the AE network, so we can always have them full of what's it called? The polymer medium. Okay, so now it sort of works. It's not the fastest, but it does what I need to do. So we have this drawer connected to the AE2 network, and if we come out to the top here, let me jump on top of this, and I'm right under it. Okay, let me teleport. You can see it has an ME export bus with a crafting card for polymer clay. So it wants to put polymer clay into this drawer, and if there's none in the system, it's going to craft it. Then, using the ender item conduit set to round robin, it's going to extract out of the drawer and round robin them to each simulation chamber. So this one has 17, this one has 17, this one has 12, this one has 21. It's a little janky with how the round robin works, but it does work. And now they feed the polymer clay and they start running the simulations. So you can see we already got 2 pristine shulk matter. I wonder why. I guess it's just luck, really. Pristine thermal elemental and pristine blaze. Then we could take the pristine blaze, throw it into here. You set it to something like blaze rods, and we could produce a bunch of blaze rods. Change it to niter, and we can do niter. Click to remove autocraft, and it's sulfur, not niter. And there we go. Now we can produce tons of items. Now you can set autocrafts to these, which is pretty nice, because then you could just make it so if you only want blaze rods, you could just make sure that pristine blaze matter goes inside, and it'll just keep producing blaze rods over and over again, which we do need in order to make our pyroetherium dust, because that seems to be running pretty low. As you can see here, it's not full anymore. But what I do want is more ender pearls, but for some reason this one is going very, very badly. We haven't gotten any. We should have at least seen one, which is really slow. Doesn't matter too much though, so let's see. So we finished off that. We did deep learning, simulation chamber, loot fabricator. Oh, next we need to do the trial keystone for the self-aware trials so we can produce the glitch armor. Now let's see, I've never actually used the trial before, but apparently you have to attune the key first. And to attune the key, there's the available attunements: zombie, enderman, skeleton, witch, spider, slime, wither skeleton, and illager. To attune the key, you just have to gain the data from one of these guys. So I went ahead and made the skeleton, zombie, spider, and creeper. So now if we do this and go back into the combat simulation, once we gain some data, that should attune the key. Let's see what we can find. It should be pretty easy, as they're, pretty much everywhere. And there's nothing in particular I'm looking for. Zombies would probably be the easiest, and then followed by spiders, and then maybe creepers. Can't attune. There is no trial for creeper. No trial for creeper. Interesting. Let's try this one. Trial key was attuned to spider. Key is attuned to spider. Key tier faulty. Affixes. Faulty level trials have no affixes. How do you get it higher? If I kill more spiders, will that make it go up? Well, I slayed a couple more things. I guess it doesn't work the way I was thinking. Which makes me think I'm going to have to make multiple trial keys, because it seems like each key can only attune to one thing. So now that I slayed a spider, we can only do a spider trial. I'm guessing that's how it works. Or maybe it's still faulty. Maybe if I slay 4 more spiders, it'll go up to the next tier. Might as well test that. Okay, 1 more spider should take us from faulty to basic. Spider data model reached the basic tier, so now if I check the key, Key says, still faulty. Interesting. Okay, so I'm guessing the only way the trial key raises is just by doing the trial. So I'm gonna have to make a couple more keys so we can get all the trials. Because I'm guessing we're gonna need all of them and all of the loot. But let's start with the spider one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it up over here. I don't think it needs power. It just needs like a wide-ish area. So let's go ahead and plop this guy right here. And then if you put the key inside, something is blocking the trial area. Make sure a 15 by 15 by 10 area is clear and the layer beneath the trial keystone is made up of full blocks, also 15 by 15. Please insert an attuned trial key to start the trial. Trial type, spider, tier faulty, 1 wave, 3 pristine spider matter. Oh, they just spawned on top of me. Interesting. Good job! Collect your rewards from the keystone. Oh, and then it eats the key. So the keys are not renewable. You have to keep making these. Oh, so maybe, so now that the basic model for the spider is basic instead of faulty, if I make a new key and then fight a spider, it should be the basic version. Okay, so now that it's a basic tier, if I fight another spider, it should give me the next tier one, which is basic. So let me slay the spider over here with the key in hand. Trial key attuned to spider. Alright, I understand it now. I get it. And then you use the trials to slay a lot of the same type of creature, so you can upgrade the model even faster. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. So now if I put this trial key inside, now there's 2 waves, they're faster, and we get 5 pristine spider matter. Now do I even need this for anything? Cobweb, a bunch of string, and spider eyes, so there's really nothing to be gained out of the spider one. But if we look at the other ones, we do need pristine thermal, pristine shulker, pristine ghast, and pristine zombie in order to craft the Star of the Blood Moon, which is used for something, not sure what, but you also need the corrupted glitch hearts. But from what I read in the quest book, in order for corrupted glitch hearts to drop, they drop from system glitches, and they're also a reward from the self-aware versions. There's also a couple other drops, so it looks like the self-aware skeleton key gets you a binding reagent from blood magic, which I'm guessing is important. And I guess we could keep doing the spider, you get 4, but if we want the most, witches drop 6, followed by endermen, wither skeletons, and illagers. The root of all evil, what is that for? Midnight idol? You probably need that to open something later on. Anyways, let's start the trial. And, okay, they're faster. But it's honestly not too difficult. As long as you have, you know, a good armor and a good amount of health, you can keep just like face tanking everything. Now, if I leave the arena, does that end the fight? There we go. Advanced model, 30 of 0. So now if we do the advanced one, Okay, so I kind of get it. So usually, well, in the combat simulation, we could just run around and fight everything, because there's quite a lot in there. But I think it goes up, it doesn't go up faster, but since it spawns a lot of the same mob, that lets you go up the tiers a lot quicker, compared to, say, just using the simulation chamber, which is at a fixed speed, but it's fully autonomous as well. I guess the main benefit is that you have guaranteed pristine matter. So if you want to get guaranteed items quicker, then you do that. Yeah, because now that we came back to the simulation chamber, the Enderman data model has been running for 64 iterations by the looks of it. And now it's at the advanced tier, but you can see it runs, you get 1 iteration maybe every like 30 seconds or so. No, I don't think it's 30. Maybe every like 20 seconds, which isn't bad. But if we need self-aware, a self-aware data model takes quite a lot, right? Yeah, self-aware takes a massive amount. Basic 300, 900, and then self-aware is the max. So it does take quite a while. Okay, so now that we have some data models, we could use the hellish matter to make nether wart. I can then take this nether wart and flip around like that, put that into the alchemical imbuer to make awkward potion, have the awkward potion then go into the fraction. Oh wait, no, actually I have to take the awkward potion and mix this into resistance. How do I turn you into resistance? So this lets us make awkward potion, resistance, which is the right one. There we go. Then take the awkward potion, mix it with pulverized obsidian to make potion of fortitude, and then we can distill that in the alchemical imbuer into resistance 2, and then into resistance 3, and then 4 for maximum damage reduction, because now this trial key has the affix Blaze Invaders, which I'm guessing are going to be very annoying. So now, if I mix regen 4 with resistance 4, we should be nigh unkillable. Trial key goes in here. Oh, let me drink this first. Put the key in, start the trial. We take 0 poisonous spiders. Okay, I don't like those. But yeah, we're pretty much unkillable. We take 0 damage, and any damage we might take is instantly regened. I am a big enemy of poisonous spiders, though. They're probably cave spiders. They're probably my least favorite type of spider, just because of the poison and they're so tiny. Luckily, our cleaver can one-shot these guys. Yep, and there's the Blaze Invaders. But it does look like you get pretty much the same amount of data. We're at 17, which is 1 per kill. I wonder if you get a boost. 1, 2. That's 3, 4. Okay, so you still only get 1 at a time, regardless. And some more pristine. Okay, so it's not really faster. It's an interesting mechanic for sure, but because I guess I'm only interested in the glitch hearts, I kind of just have to wait until we get the pristine one. Oh, and I have the zombie one, so I might as well do that while the regen is still up. Yeah, because it's really only useful for... Why do you have armor on? How's that fair? And that's it, yep. What do you guys drop? Iron, carrot, potato, rotten flesh, and then I need that for this, so that one's not too bad. Yeah, but if I want the glitch stuff, because I need 2 corrupted glitch heart to make this. So I will need a self-aware one, but I guess there's not really a way to make it go faster. Like, if I keep doing the trial keys, because they're pretty cheap, because it's just like diamonds. The trial key itself is pretty cheap. I just have to keep fighting them, but there's not really a way to make the fights go faster. And then once I get the model to advanced, it's not that fast to grow. And then once I get the model to advanced anyway, it takes a lot more work to get it to the next tier because of how much we need to fight. I feel like it'd be easier if I just ran around in the combat simulation and just slayed everything I saw. Because I could just do that with a bow and arrow, and I wouldn't even have to leave the little platform. Anyways, though, I need to slay some witches to get witch water. Now, I'm pretty sure we can make witch water just with mycelium. But I think it's kind of intended. You're supposed to slay the witches. So the witch spawners are over here. And we just need to slay 6 of them, and then we can get on our merry way. I just hate fighting witches, because they throw potions, and potions are really annoying. Yep, hello. See, and they regen themselves. Ow. Okay, this place is terrible. The mob spawns are insane. Yeah, I should bring a bow and arrow for this, honestly. Trying to engage in melee combat versus this many witches is not a great idea. Unless I can one-shot them. Okay, I can. Anyways, I just need to slay one more witch. That's gonna be you. There we go. Now I'm gonna get out of here. I'd rather just... Oh no, but to do the trial key... I just need one pristine witch matter. I can just throw it into the simulation chamber. That's fine. I'm not gonna bother trying to fight this many witches. Huh? How did you get inside, buddy? Unless there's just no light in here? Guess that's the case. Data per kill 4. Oh, so that's what it means by doing the trials is faster. So when you put a data model in the simulation chamber, you only get one data every time the simulation runs. But when you kill the mob itself, you get 4 data per kill at basic, and then at advanced you get 10. So it actually does scale with the higher data model. The trial just gets more difficult. So if I look at the spider one, that's why the spider one's already at 189 compared to the Enderman data model, because I kept fighting skeletons and getting 10 data per kill. Interesting, so that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, we do need the witch water. This is going to be useful for turning mobs into different mobs, like the the wither skeletons, which are going to need that. To acquire pristine skeleton matter, yeah, we need pristine skeleton and pristine ghast matter. I wonder why. What do we craft out of these? Pristine wither skeleton is used to make infused radiant stars, which is essentially a nether star, because I don't think there's a wither in this pack. And then for the... what's the other one? Ghast matter. Oh, we need the ghast matter for the Star of the Blood Moon. So we need one for that. Pristine thermal, shulker, and everything else. Okay, I get it. I see what we're supposed to be doing. Now we have 7 pristine witch matter, so we can make some sinister witch dust. And I'm going to save the rest, because we need that to craft the... Actually, I'm not sure why this is here. Not sure what that's for. I think it's just a good item. Take that, Enderman, make some more Ender Pearls. Grab all this stuff. We're generating tons and tons of string, which I don't really need. But the spider spawner I think will be like the easiest to fight, because spiders are pretty easy. They just walk at you. Cave spiders are pushover. It's not much you really have to worry about. Throw all this in here. And we'll just put you right there. Sinister Witch. And do I have a bucket? I do not. I'm gonna have to grab a bucket to store the witch water, and then we need a mob imprisonment tool. Mob imprisonment, which is a bear trap, and more iron. So this guy, like so. Bear trap is that. Mob imprisonment tool, like so. Now, all we need out of this is... there we go. Witch water. Now we need a skeleton and a squid. So a squid should be easy to find over here. That'll turn it into a ghast. So I probably need a bow. Or do I? Yoink. And there we go. Oh, there it is. Perfect. 2 ghast here. Now we can make the data model. We can also make some other stuff later on. And then we just have to make this go from faulty to whatchamacallit, basic. Now this should be the last one. And there we go. Ghast, data model, basic. And I'll leave that witch water for there for now, because I have another bucket. Doesn't really matter, because I need to make this one for wither skeletons to get that data model, and we're all set. So let's come back over here. I'm going to slap the ghast data model into one of our simulation chambers just to make the pristine, because we really only need one. And I'll just do this guy over here. The zombie. Do we need the zombie one? We only needed one of these, so now that we have it, we can swap that out. And why aren't you full? Am I missing stuff for the polymer? The polymer only needs clay and like some other stuff. Let's see, polymer. Now, this is probably like the worst way to do it, and the quest book mentions a better way, but honestly, I can't be bothered to set up a whole bunch of other machinery from industrial foregoing when I could just steal the skeletons and drop them in the witch water like so. Yeah, see, just like that. Makes it really easy. Then I could just respawn them and then quickly dispatch of them. There we go. So now we have the wither skeleton skull. We can make the wither skeleton data model. And now we just have to repeat the process of abducting a skeleton, turning it into a wither skeleton, and getting our data model. And we only have to do it 6 times, so it's honestly not that difficult. And all done. And for some reason the witch water bugged out on me, so I couldn't re-pick it up. So now it's staying over there forever. Not gonna worry about it though. And is that a hole? No, that's the floor. A creeper blew a hole in the wall. Doesn't matter too much, because now that we have the basic data model, we can get the pristine wither matter, and finally do something with it. I'm not quite sure. I think you can attune a trial key to this one though. Trial key. Yeah, you can with the wither skeletons. So that would be pretty useful. Now let's see. Now I did find the source of the, what's the word? Limited polymer clay, and it's actually from the lack of niter. Luckily we can produce more niter via the pristine thermal elemental matter, so that should help, you know, fix my lack of polymer clay. Oh, that's not too bad. Defeat 49.6 spiders to reach self-aware. Because now that it's I can't talk. Now that it's at superior, the data per kill is 18. So it's actually not too bad. Especially since spiders are pretty abundant in that area. And if I just spawn the... I was gonna say, if I do the trial chamber, it'd be easier. But then I have to make the keys and then deal with the extra, like... what's the word? Affixes in the trial, when 50 spiders in the combat simulation is actually pretty easy to do. Do I have any more food? I ate all of my fish. Okay, I should probably just leave if I need to regen health. But as you can see, there's spiders all over the place, so it really shouldn't be that difficult to find 50 of them. Or I guess in this... And there we go. Spider data model reached the self-aware tier. Now I just have to get some keys. And then we just have to run the self-aware spider gauntlet and get some glitched hearts. Alright, so I have my 2 trial keys for the spiders, and I'm a little intimidated, because this one has the affixes Speed, Empowered Glitches, and Thunderdome, and this one has Empowered Glitches, Thunderdome, and Loot Hoarders. Now, Loot Hoarders just spawns extra creatures that give you loot, but Thunderdome spawns charged creepers, which I think resistance 4 means I won't get one shot, but it might be pretty close. So we're going to drop this, regen up, potion up, key in, start the trial, and I gotta clear this trial fast before my potion of resistance runs out. Okay, nice. No charged creeper. And we get 4 corrupted glitch hearts. You can't tell, but I'm sweating. Sweating a lot. I was really worried that at some point a charged creeper was going to spawn and just like one-tap us. But now we have the corrupted glitch heart, and now we can craft the Star of the Blood Moon. We can also keep doing the trials to get the glitch-infused armor, which should take drop some fragments, lapis, and gold ingots into a body of water and hope for the best. I'm not actually sure what the ratio is. Actually, maybe the guidebook says? I don't remember. Okay, it looks like it's 1-to-1. So to make a whole set of the glitch armor, we're gonna have to do this a couple times to get the unstable glitch fragments, crafted by crushing a corrupted... Oh, so you actually get more. Take the glitch heart, crush it against obsidian, and it yields 3 fragments, and then each fragment turns into an ingot. So from 4 hearts, that's 12 fragments, that's 12 ingots, which is enough to get the chest plate. Bonuses while the full set is equipped. Which means I I might want to craft the glitch-infused sword, because as you can see there, the data gained from the demise of a mob is doubled, and when data is gained, there's a small chance the sword gets a permanent damage increase, which takes it all the way to 18. Wait, does that mean it starts at 1.6? Because that's honestly extremely low. Oh no, that's the attack speed, I think. Well, now I just gotta fight a bunch of skeletons, and I thought I heard a creeper try to explode right next to me. Okay, but at least with this, the data is doubled. So even though it says 2, it should just be 1 skeleton. And we can test this by killing the skeleton right now. Yep, basic tier, done. So we did get double. So now it says we need to kill 12 skeletons for the next tier. Alright, now to fight some skeletons. This one is Empowered Glitches, Loot Hoarder, and Thunderdome once again. Luckily, we just have to do this one time for the Binding Reagent. Drink my Potion of Fortitude. And Armored Skeletons, cool. And Strays, interesting. Well, I guess the main benefit is these guys will fight each other, which is funny. And there we go. Goodbye, witch. 1 Binding Reagent. And now we can use that to make the bound blade. And then we can use that to do something to get the blood shard. And my armor is pretty busted. Now they got me, we have 5, that's going to make 15 more ingots. I think a full set of armor needs like 24. So I'm going to have to do a couple more of these trial keys to get that much. But with the Binding Reagent, I think that's everything we need. There's nothing left, right? Of course, we're going to need some more Corrupted Glitch Hearts, but I think that's everything. We have to build another block from Astral Sorcery to make Resonating Gems. Demonic Slate is a tier 4 Blood Altar item, so we need a tier 4 Blood Altar. But other than that, we're pretty set. Alright, so now I can take all of these, toss it into some water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make all of my... Wait! Oh wait, no, it actually doesn't matter because I turned it into dust. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna have to do one more trial key because I forgot to account that I need 2 of the glitched hearts to actually craft the item. But now we can go ahead and craft the armor, and craft the helmet, can craft the leggings, and can craft the boots. Now we can take off this radial diamond armor, put on our glitch infused set, and now we have the power of flight. Creative flight at that, the best kind of flight. But I gotta say, it's really handy now that we can fly. So now if we take the arcane ashes and then put the binding reagent, whoa, that's a really big one, then put in the diamond sword. The shape of the country is a transmutation circle. We can make, I forget the name of the sword, but we can make the blood magic thingamabob. There we go. 1 bound blade for culling the weak. Deactivated, unbreakable. I'm not actually sure what that does, so let's ponder the sanguine scientum. The bound blade is an artifact from the past, a blade that is created by binding an entity to a sword in the same process that creates the living armor. It should be noted that this, as well as the bound tools, will change in later versions of the mod. The sword has an active and inactive mode, which can be toggled by shift right-clicking. The sword does not deal any damage at all when inactive, but while active, there will be a small LP drain over time. Likewise, when you damage a mob, you will drain LP from your network. Sure, you have a lot of damage, but it may kill you. When a monster is killed, the monster has a chance to drop a weak blood shard. These shards are used in the altar to upgrade your blood altar to a tier 4 altar. Blood shard. Blood shard. This thing, weak blood shard. Take this, combine it with stones to make the large bloodstone tile, and then I believe you need that to upgrade this to tier 4, right? So if we take a look, Schematica, Blood Magic, tier 4. Wait, is this tier 2 or 3? I thought this is just tier 2. Done. No, that's tier 2. So that's tier 2. Tier 3 is that one. So tier 4 is this one. We need even more of these runes, more dirt, and then the bloodstone tiles. The bloodstone brick. Large bloodstone tile. Okay, not that difficult. Where is my divination sigil? 19,000 LP. So now if we turn this guy on, bound blade active. Okay, that damage is honestly pretty low. Does it gain more damage based on like the blood? I'm not actually sure. And then we just have to make this better. That's honestly not too difficult. And then for this guy, the Starlight Infuser is pretty easy. I already have all this stuff, so it's honestly the easiest part of this. Okay, interesting. So I thought I'd be able to just make the Starlight Infuser, but it looks like you actually need a Celestial Altar to make this. The Celestial Altar is made from that, and then the Celestial Altar has its own thing. Oh, so that's different. So actually we can move this way, like over there. So the Celestial Altar needs its own big setup. So we need to upgrade this, we need to upgrade that one, I need to get other items. Honestly, not too bad, but too much for one episode. And as you could guess, this episode has gone on quite long enough. I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you all next time.